Glaucoma is the name given to a group of eye diseases that lead to the optic nerve. The doc will tell me what that means. Now here to talk symptoms and treatment is consultant ophthalmologist Dr. Hugh Vaughan.
Morning, sir.
Doc,
morning,
I don't have a clue what I just said. It just sounded very off and wrong to me.
Yeah.
So let's talk about glaucoma. First of all, how common is glaucoma here in Jamaica?
It's very common. It's one of the commonest causes of blindness in Jamaica.
What is it?
It is a progressive condition in which the blood supply to the optic nerve is impaired. It's a progressive condition, and if no intervention takes place, it will eventually lead to blindness.
You can get it at any stage. A young person can get it, or is that old people thing?
You have it from children. Some children are born with it. Some people develop it through the years. Most people get it as adults.
So what caused it then?
It's largely inherited, and the different forms have different patterns of inheritance. But it's largely inherited.
When you say largely, but so I could just get it on my own?
Well, yes, but we don't know.
What caused that?
For example, if you had an injury, trauma can cause glaucoma. The use of certain drugs can cause glaucoma.
Yeah. If it affects one eye, it automatically the other one, or no?
Usually it will affect both eyes if it's hereditary. But if it's an injury, it's the eye that got the injury that has it.
Wow.
The other one will not be affected.
Are there early symptoms?
Unfortunately, glaucoma has no symptoms. It's a silent killer.
So you just get up one morning and realize that you're not seeing so wonderful, and that's it?
Unfortunately, that is true.
Wow. So in the tests that they do, they can't tell that it's something...
Oh, yes, we can detect that. And routinely, when people go, usually in the 40s, people go to have their eyes examined because they can't read near. And at that examination, tests are done to detect the presence of glaucoma. People who have relatives who have glaucoma normally will get a check every few years to make sure they don't develop it. And those are the common ways we find
What about the look? Can you look at me and say...
No, you can't. No. You look normal.
So you couldn't look at me and say, why something not looking so right?
No, can't see anything. In fact, even if when you examine the eye under the microscope, it often looks normal.
It can be cured?
No, we can't cure it, but we can prevent the blindness. Okay? If we have appropriate intervention, we can prevent you going blind.
But what you have lost already, you could regain?
That's correct. What you've lost already, we will not restore.
But you can try to prevent further loss.
We will prevent further loss.
All right. In some instances, it requires surgery.
Yes.
So what are the different stages? Are there stages that don't require surgery?
Okay. Initially, it doesn't require surgery. You treat with drops, ointments, or tablets. When those fail, when those can no longer prevent progression, then you may go on to surgery. And generally, there are two kinds of surgery: laser surgery and the conventional microsurgery. Usually, laser surgery is done initially, but our experience in the Caribbean has been that laser surgery is not as effective or as long-lasting in North America or in Europe or in basically Caucasian populations. Our population, laser surgery is not so very efficient. So we often go...
It's not efficient?
Not efficient. We often go straight from failure of medication to conventional microsurgery.
Can it be easily, I don't know, can you mistake it for something else? So for example, you may think, oh, I have astigmatism, or I have something else, and it really is glaucoma presenting itself.
You should never try to determine what you have. Go to the professional, he will tell you what, or she will tell you what's wrong with you. You have symptoms, and there are a few symptoms, and many causes of those symptoms. So you need a professional to identify what's your problem.
The symptoms would mean I'm just not seeing as well as I normally, or is it an itching, is it a pain?
No itching, no pain. You just don't see as well as you usually see. And often with glaucoma, it's when you've finally lost and severely lost vision that you notice something is wrong, because it's a gradual onset. When it starts in the adult, it can take between 12 and 25 years to blind you completely. So if you're losing your vision slowly over that period of time, you won't notice it day to day.
No, because you're going to say, oh, I'm getting older, man, that's why I can't see.
For want of a better word, you've brought some props with you. So explain first the eye that you have in the hand.
All right, this is just a model of an eye.
Yeah.
And it sits in your head like this.
Yep.
You open and close.
Yep.
If you cut the eye open, it has a structure like this. This is the lens, this is the back of the eye.
Can we
This
tilt
is
it
the
just a
nerve.
bit,
Okay.
Doc? Yeah.
This is the nerve. Glaucoma action takes place here. Fluid is secreted into this space and goes through the pupil into this area of the eye where it filters and leaves the eye. That fluid generates the pressure that maintains the structure of the eye. The eye is like a football, it needs a pressure to keep it going. That pressure is transmitted to the back. The blood supply to the nerves at the back is squeezed by that pressure. So if you have a pressure that is too high, the blood cannot flow.
And that causes.
And that's the commonest cause of
Right.
glaucoma. There also is another cause. 1/5 of the cases have normal pressure. And it's because the blood vessels going to the nerve have a fault. And those people will never have a high pressure, but they will steadily lose their vision, just like regular high pressure glaucoma.
When you say steadily, explain how quickly
All
you
right.
go downhill with that.
It takes, as I said, between 12 and 25 years. So little by little, day by day, you lose a little bit.
Okay.
It may be incremental in that you were doing well and then suddenly 2 weeks, you progress rapidly.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So I was going to say, so can you go to your regular optician,
Oh,
do a
yes.
test, and then they'll tell you whether or not you need to go to the ophthalmologist? When do I need to come see you?
If you notice anything wrong with the child, come in. Children should get an examination before they go to school. All right, that's the easiest. Children with a family history should be examined early.
Under normal conditions, how often do I test my eyes?
Between 1 and 40, about every 2 to 3 years. After 40, maybe once a year.
Eh?
Yes.
Well, you tell me.
You can't remember the last.
Well, you tell me that. It seems like they say stress causes almost everything. Every time you get something, they say it could be this, it could be that, and it could be stress. And this, that, it could be stress. Stress have anything to do with this?
Not really. Stress is a very misused word.
Yeah.
And how stress will affect you, it won't be the same way it will affect me.
Okay.
So it's hard to identify and say it's stress. When doctors use stress, they're not talking about psychological stress. They're talking something specific.
Okay. All right. Because she stressed me
stresses you
out
out,
weekly, so I think I'm going to see her soon. Eh? Weekly she stressed me.
Don't wait until you can't see, because then it's too late.
Good to see you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks very much for coming. Consultant ophthalmologist, Dr. Hugh Vaughan. Why don't I have these names that you don't want me to be able to pronounce? 10 minutes to your health. We'll do it again next Thursday.